Sauce Walka and his artist Sayso P were both shot in downtown Memphis. Sauce Walka is currently in stable condition, but his artist Sayso P tragically passed away. Now, I know exactly what took place from the horse's mouth himself. So we're gonna dispel a couple of rumors that's been going around on YouTube of exactly what took place before Sauce Walka was shot.
Breaking news is first at 6 tonight. Memphis police are investigating a deadly shooting right in the heart of downtown Memphis. Thanks for being with us. I'm Shay Arthur. A second person was also seriously injured in that violence that broke out in broad daylight this afternoon. WRG's Tia McKenzie has been gathering information about the case all day. Tia, the scene is right there off of FedExForum, right in front of it. What are officers telling you happened?
That's right, Shay. Now, as you can see behind me now, the scene is still pretty active. I'm going to step aside and allow you to see those wave of blue lights. Now, the shooting happened around 2:40 this afternoon in the 100 block of George W. Lee Avenue. Police are calling the shooting a targeted incident. Several police vehicles and crime scene tape blocked off parts of downtown Memphis as they tried to piece together what happened.
Memphis is one of those situations where you just don't go. You don't do flyovers, stop-ins. You don't go to Memphis, and it don't matter if you're downtown, uptown, southtown. It's dangerous. Everybody in Memphis have an affiliation with somebody, and if you just so happen to have beef with somebody that they have an affiliation with, they will come and get you. And in the case of Sauce Walka, he's in Memphis because his artist Sayso P is from Memphis, so he felt safe in Memphis. He was everywhere in Memphis last night and this morning. They was so outside, they didn't even get a chance to change their clothes. They was in the same clothes they were in when the shooting happened that they wore to the club last night. That's how outside they were.
Police say the suspects got out of a car and started to shoot at two victims.
That fact alone will tell you that the rumors that this was a dice game is false, that this was a robbery is false. They were gambling at some point yesterday, but what took place yesterday has nothing to do with what happened today. And we know for a fact this wasn't a robbery because the objective of a robbery is to get the cash, the jewelry, is to get the items. They didn't come for no items. Sayso P actually passed away with his chain on his neck. When they walked out the hotel, as soon as they walked out, they opened fire on Sauce Walka and Sayso P. They was dumping, letting it out.
Detectives from the Real-Time Crime Center tracked the vehicle as it fled outside of the Memphis area. Now, one person is dead and another is in critical condition at Regional 1.
So we're convinced that vehicle has fled the downtown area. We certainly want everybody to be on the lookout for this white vehicle. We put out a citywide broadcast on that vehicle. Currently, we have detectives from the homicide unit. We have detectives from the CSI unit on the scene conducting the investigation. Hopefully, we'll be able to develop suspect information real quickly.
Police did not tell us what kind of white car they are looking for, but did say they are looking for multiple suspects at this time.
You're not risking going to jail for life doing a crime across the street from the FedExForum over some jewelry, bro. You doing it because you don't know if you'll get another opportunity to get your man. And that's exactly what happened. Across the street from the FedExForum at the Westin Hotel at 2 p.m. in a day? Yo, you do that because you don't know if you'll ever get a better chance to get him. Now, it's unclear if Sauce Walka was targeted or if Sayso P was the target. Memphis police will release a statement confirming this wasn't a random incident and the public don't need to be in a mass hysteria, that these people came targeting Sauce Walka and Sayso P. Memphis police in their statement would read, at approximately 2:42 p.m. today, officers responded to a shooting at 100 block of George W. Lee Avenue. One male was pronounced dead and another male was transported to the hospital in non-critical condition. This appears to be an isolated incident, not random violence. Officers have identified a suspect vehicle and are actively working to make an arrest. 2 people got shot, but it was 3 people present. It was Sosa Man, Sauce Walka, and Sayso P. They all walk out in a group. Now, when they walk out in the group, the shooters hop out the vehicle, but here's how they are positioned. Sauce Walka, no, it's Sosa Man, Sauce Walka, Sayso P. The shooters come from Sayso P's direction. So when they start shooting, Sauce seen it, book it. Sayso P was the nearest to the shooters. So he's a heavy set dude, about 6'4", 6'5", about like 360, 370. He can't really run all that well. He get a headshot, topple over immediately. Sauce Walka and Sosa Man did. Now, Sosa Man was the furthest away, so he never got hit. Sauce Walka is from Houston, but he has nothing but enemies in Memphis as well. He has a lot of ops in Memphis because Sauce Walka picked a side. Sauce Walka decided when he went to Memphis, since he'd been going to Memphis, he's really aligning himself with one particular side. And when you do that, when you get involved or when you get in the middle of beef, anybody in the middle is getting laid down. The Young Dolph and Yo Gotti beef has divided up Memphis. You can essentially say it's two sides in Memphis, bruh. You either rocking with PRE or you rocking with CMG. And it's not even particularly CMG or PRE or Young Dolph and Yo Gotti. It's essentially the associates, right? Like, for example, Big 30 ain't really signed to CMG, but Big 30 is signed to Moneybagg Yo. Moneybagg Yo is associated with Yo Gotti. So hence, Big 30 is on that particular side. And we've seen Big 30 lose people from his particular crew in this beef. So when Sauce Walka come to Memphis and he aligns himself with Big 30, OG, and a lot of other people, including Sayso P, when he aligned himself with those people, well, he make an enemy out of PRE artists or people associated with PRE or people who got love for Young Dolph. Like, for example, after Sauce Walka got shot, I'm talking about minutes after he got shot before the world even knew, CEO Jizzle was already on Facebook taunting Sauce Walka and laughing at him being shot. CEO Dizzle is Young Dolph cousin / artist. So CEO Jizzle would write on Facebook, y'all check on Drake Baby for me. This is tongue-in-cheek and this is taunting. Drake Baby is really close with Sayso P. So he would comment, I can't find his number. I ain't trying to be funny. What he do? Sayso and them got shot. I'm trying to check on Sosa, man. For y'all who can't read between the lines, he's not really concerned with the well-being of Sayso. He already knows Sayso is dead. The CEO Jizzle is taunting, he's mocking, he's making a mockery out of Sauce Walka and Sayso P being shot because he don't like him, because they aligned themselves with his enemies and his ops. Well, Sayso P lives in Memphis, but Sauce Walka is the outsider. Now, Draco, who is close with Sayso P, he would respond back, and him and CEO Jizzle will go back and forth under the status. Sayso P, homie, will comment, you a bit, right? And with CEO Jizzle will respond back, you act like I dissed him or something, cry baby. You don't get hurt, kid. But Baby Drake will respond back with, cuh, you ain't no threat. You heard what I said. You a beat. Take it however you want to take it. Then, CEO Jizzle will respond back, you definitely not a threat to me. You a kid on Jesus. You got so much unfinished smoke, you ain't completed yet. I'm the last MF you want to go at. I ain't none of your little ops you play with. I'ma handle you on the Bible. I don't play fair. You already know what time they on, bro. They consider Sauce Walka an op. So when you're in Memphis, you're in ops territory. This is not a vacation spot anymore for you because you chose up and you linked up with their ops. Bro, Sauce Walka was in the club throwing money, having a good old time with Big Homie G.
To the trenches. G-Body.
Big Homie G is best bud with Straight Drop, who we all know Straight Drop was arrested for the murder of Young Dolph. So Big Homie G, I like him. He's a very good dude. He invited me to the studio when he was in LA. But Big Homie G is a lot of people's top op in the city. So you post up with Big Homie G, Big 30, and a lot of other people, you are picking a side. Sayso P, you are picking a side. And when you pick a side and when you hang out with Sayso P and others, bro, you gotta stay on that side. And you gotta move accordingly like you are on a side. Like you not in a position where you are on vacation. No, bro, you in the middle of a war zone and you are a part of the war too. If Sauce Walka had the mindset that I believe that he should have had when he was in Memphis, he probably wouldn't posted up a video of him in his hotel room.
Yeah, man, we ripping with these man. What you talking about? Here to tell them people, man. Got this shit on bankroll, go yards, diamonds.
Even if you want to say, man, I'm not posting enough to where they would know where I'm at, bro. How would they know the difference between where I'm at and where every other probably hotel or place of stay is? Bro, you don't even want to risk it, bro. You don't even want to give them a peek of where you at, bro, because them folks probably been in that city all year round. They probably stayed in multiple tellies. They probably know where everywhere is at. I'm not even saying that's how they found out. They could have found out because they probably followed them there, or one of the employees gave them a call, or they were staying at the exact same telly and you probably ain't even noticed them, or they had an issue, right? And they just parked in the vehicle, waited outside for y'all to come outside, and they got busy. You never know. But what I do know, though, right, in terms of outside of this situation, is Sauce Walka got 9 lives, yo. Sauce Walka is the luckiest man I think on the planet, bruh. Sauce Walka has been shot every year since 2021. I'm not lying. He's been shot every year since 2021. As a matter of fact, when Sauce Walka was last in LA, well, not last, but the time before last, yo, Sauce Walka was involved in like a national story. Like Sauce Walka was, I believe he did the BET Cypher. While walking out of the BET Cypher, some dude with a gun was walking by and try to rob him. He ain't give up his stuff. So, he was able to fight off the dude. The dude took off, went and found another robbery victim, shot and killed that person, robbed them and left. Sauce Walka thought when the news reported that somebody died, he thought his robber died when in fact his robber actually killed somebody. So he posted this very bizarre video.
Hey man, I really ain't want to speak on this shit, but I know it's too many young black kings and young kings out there that's being misled and misguided wrong, learning half of the game and not the whole game. So y'all need to learn from this experience that I went to tonight, because being a rapper is one of the most dangerous jobs in America, and there's a lot of young men out here that want to do this shit, but don't know everything that come with it. But I want to speak on this part right here, understand this. Everybody don't go. Everybody don't go and everybody ain't going, and I'm one of them people that's not going. So unfortunately tonight somebody lost their life for doing something stupid. And I don't know how it happened or what was going on, but I really would like all the young black men around here to learn.
Even though Sauce Walka have 9 lives, I know for sure I'm not hanging around somebody like Sauce Walka, bruh. Sauce Walka is the homie who's gonna do something dumb and get all of you guys in trouble, like not giving up the jury when the gunman has the gun literally to your heads. Yeah, so I'm not hanging out with Sauce Walka, man, but this is unfortunate. And it's unfortunate because, yes, Sauce Walka lost a homie, but it's unfortunate because when we want to assign blame, it's kind of difficult. Yes, we assign blame to the killers, to the people who showed up and took somebody's life today, but Sauce Walka is a rapper. And we know that hip hop is the biggest influence to black and brown youth. So if there's a culture of violence, if there's a culture of toxicity within the black and brown youth that's trickling down to affect Sauce Walka, and hip hop is his biggest influence towards enabling and perpetuating that particular culture of violence, then we have to assign blame to rappers as well. Sauce Walka has contributed his fair share to the violence in his culture. He has contributed his fair share to the toxicity in his culture. So if the music and the genre and the culture that Sauce Walka benefit from and promotes, if that music has taken the life of a lot of people due to the influence, right? Due to the glorification of violence, if this music has influenced a lot of people to take a lot of lives, and a lot of innocent people has lost their life due to the influence of this music, then it's really hard to ignore the accountability when the violence is now at Sauce Walka's doorstep. And that's one of the things that a lot of us struggle with. Because obviously we're putting all the blame and all the anger in the people who actually came and shot and killed somebody today. Those people don't ever deserve to see life again. I think those people deserve to see the chair. But at some point we have to start looking at our rappers, right? When the violence that they perpetuate and glorify come to their doorsteps, we got to look at them and say, at what point is enough enough? At what point do you say, I have to now start doing my part to untoxicify, if that's a word, to change the culture that I created? And, I hope Sauce Walka sees this as an opportunity to do that. But, do I got my hopes up? Probably not. I think this is probably going to lead Sauce Walka to probably dive deeper into the violence, probably get back, and the cycle will continue. But, my heart goes out to Sauce Walka. No, truly, my heart goes out to Sauce Walka. Nobody should ever have to watch their friend die in front of them. And, I hope bro heals. I hope, the trauma is dealt with. This sucks. And, I hope the people who did it is caught. But at some point, we do have to have the larger conversation. Probably not today, but at some point, we have to have the larger conversation in hip hop. These rappers are culpable for a lot of it. Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think, all right? Do you guys think that Sauce Walka linking up and choosing sides in Memphis is one of the reasons? How do you guys think the killers found them? Were they already in the hotel? Did they get the drop? Let me know. And if you're still watching, man, click on this video here somewhere on my screen, somewhere here, to find out how this lady got arrested for doing this during a pop-up balloon. I'm gonna see you guys in this video, all right? I'm out of here, folks. Peace. Click on this video, people, all right? I'm out of here. Peace.